What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to today's episode of Why'd I Buy a Mini Truck? A lot has happened since the last time I filmed, so this is just going to be a good overall update. Got the engine on stand over there. Kind of cleaned up the shop a little bit, give me a little bit more room. Inside of here, we took out the center of the HVAC or the HVAC core. Just got it out of the way. I'm going to be soundproofing and doing some modifications here on the firewall, especially like right there. There's a big old hole, and on the other side as well. So it's just nice to like have it out of the way, right? We're going to go ahead and put some soundproof in there and get it all cleaned up, and then start to put everything back together once it's clean. The interior is something we're going to work on over the winter. So a couple of things are going to happen in here, right? We're going to get rid of this fuse panel and holder, and we're going to take everything out of here pretty much except for the air lines. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to be doing some spray and some traditional style soundproofing. So that'll be really cool. So we just want to make sure that this is all cleaned out, and went ahead and ordered some replacement clips right here for the harness, and just overall just want to make sure stuff looks good in here. We are going to be spraying the steering column and all of these little brackets that hold the dash up. They are just raw metal, so they do have a tendency to look like doo-doo after a while. Up here in the front, though, the biggest of changes has happened. Obviously, took the engine and transmission out, which was great. Came out super easy, so that was awesome. And originally, my idea was to keep the fender supports that come out. We cut the radiator support. I don't know why I just didn't do this first. I mean, like I said, I was trying to keep these so I know how to locate the fenders properly. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to get this all cleaned up. We're going to replace all of the steering. So everything's coming out. Brand new upper lower control arms, ball joints. We're going to flip the uppers and box them in, and we're going to box the lowers in. I got the kit on the way from Roadie Fab right now, so thank you, Roadie Fab. So once we get this all cleaned up, we're going to put a nice coat of steel in here. We are going to be doing stuff with these brake lines and the evap line for the canister. Pretty much just going to tuck them up out of the way. So we're just going to be bending all new lines in here, make it look really clean against the firewall. We're going to be filling some holes, doing some patchwork, and just prepping overall. We are going to be keeping the wiper motor. We are going to be keeping our wipers. But a lot of this other stuff we're just going to fill. There's no need to have these two when this is where the heater core comes out. We don't need to have all these little holes in here for nothing. What we'll do is probably fill them all, and then we're going to come back through. And if we need to drill any holes to hang any wiring harnesses or anything like that, we can go ahead and do that when the time comes. But I'm really excited to replace just all of this. I mean, this is all, however many years old. And it's just about time. We're also going to go ahead and replace this center portion here. Roadie Fab has a bolt-in kit. However, I'm not 100% sure if I can use it. It does look like they welded. Looks like they welded mine in place. So we're going to have to figure that out. Worst case scenario, we just throw a plate under it just to reinforce it a little bit more. So the game plan with this is once we finish our work on the firewall, we're going to come through here, and you can see there's just stuff like this we need to take care of. I mean, you can't run anything bigger. You're just going to pop a tire. So, and on the other side, we have something kind of similar, except it's just a gaper. So, I mean, all of this needs to get fixed. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to take the tub, and we're going to actually like kind of set the tub in here. We might be getting rid of this portion on each side and essentially just tying this tub into the firewall. Now, I did want to make them removable, so what we might do is we might get it in here, get the placement correct, and then cut it just flush here with the firewall, and then I will overlap it slightly or make little tabs so that it can bolt up to that portion there. Now, coming off of here, what we're going to do is we'll probably do some kind of mount system here, some bolts maybe that run through on each side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a tubular front end. I'm not going to go crazy with it. It's probably going to be like the same stuff we use for the drift car. So pretty thin steel or aluminum with little riv nut washers in there. And that's how we're going to locate the fenders in the front. And we're going to order a brand new complete radiator core support for up here. So that we'll have not only the location here, but the location at the firewall to go ahead and tie everything in. We'll test fit with the fenders, all that good jazz, right? However, this will make it a lot easier to get in here and do some work. So that's definitely a plus. With the KA on the stand over here, now that we've done some work in the front, we're going to take a look at this thing probably in the next week or two. I still do have a lot of stuff I need to take off of the black donor truck before it leaves. So that's what I'm going to be working on until then. Nothing too crazy, mainly the manual steering rack, miscellaneous trim for around the doors and windows. You know, I'm missing the piece that runs all along here. So we're definitely going to grab that. And yeah, I mean, I definitely wish I would have front half the truck originally, though. Would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of Sawzall bits, because I was trying to cut through. And I mean, it was just a nightmare, right? The best route was to do this. I mean, even if I would have cut back. So I cut back the driver's side fender arch, the tub. I cut the tub out. And I mean, there would have been so much work that would have needed to go in to that upper support for the fender that it really just wasn't worth it. You know, it was too chopped already, too messed up, cuts in weird places. It was easier just to lop it off. And even if we cut it back just a little bit more and we just plate the firewall, I'd be fine with that too, because then we can put some weld nuts in there or tack weld some nuts on the other side, and we can just bolt on and off the entire front clip, which is another option I was considering going with, a nice removable front clip. It'll save us all a lot of headache if we ever do need to get in here for anything extensive. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the next kit coming from Roadie Fab is going to be the front shock mount kit, the Jake's Choice or whatever it is. So that'll be really cool. It'll go ahead and let us add a shock to the front. Now we do have these mounts down here, right there, but they're at a weird angle and there's no way that that's going to work. So we're just gonna lop those off and start fresh. I think it's the best way to go about it. Nothing too crazy to talk about back here. This is still just temporarily set up so I can air the truck up and down and move it around. You know, you do the hokey pokey, you shake it all about. The next thing we're gonna do back here is we're gonna cut off these bolts that are welded to the C-notch, and we're actually going to put some mounts right here. The shock will come like this. I do have them already, so that's something I need to get on, but that will be after we finish going through that black donor truck. These are the two transmissions we have still, so they both work with the KA, which is great. They also both work with the Z24, which is cool. This one we found a little bit of metal in, so we're going to split this one. This one, however, no metal, so we're going to use this back one after we pressure wash it. This will be what mates to the KA and goes into the truck right away. Less work for me, hopefully. And if not, we'll have another one that we'll rebuild. So that'll be nice. I'm just really stoked about how much progress we've made on the truck, realistically, in like 1 day, 2 days. Working for a few hours here and there. It's been pretty good. So next step up here in the front end though, pull this manual rack, or pull this power steering rack out, grab the manual rack from the black donor truck, put it in here just loosely for now, just in case I need to move it. But when all the steering components show up, we're just gonna do that all at once. We're gonna do the whole front end. So we're gonna box and flip the upper control arms. We're going to reinforce the lower control arms, reinforce the bag mounts, and just give this a nice refresher up here in the front. And while I'm up here, I might go with S13 knuckles or some 5 lug. I don't know yet. I really want to run a 5x114. But for the rear, that's really the only downside is it's like, unless I grab a Toyota rear axle, I'm pretty much going to be running 6x5-on-5 in the rear. But we'll kind of see what's up. I know there are spacers out there. I'm not a super big fan of running spacers. Plus, it would be nice to have a disc conversion back here so we could run disc brakes all the way around. It's something I'm going to look into, but for now, this is where we're at. Originally I was going to run a 240SX front and rear subframe, but this isn't by no means going to be like any kind of performance vehicle or anything like that. I mean, this is really just going to be low, slow, and mostly just a park and chill truck. So stay tuned for the next video. I really appreciate everybody watching. I know that it has been a journey so far, so I thank everybody for sticking by, and I will catch you guys in the next one.